vitamin A, and mesothelioma. Here are the facts. Any doctor who tells you that diet, vitamins, and other holistic considerations play no role whatsoever in the prevention or management of cancer or mesothelioma in particular has not done their homework. Yes, a great deal more research is needed to prove the therapeutic value of these natural modalities. But while the years go by and we wait for things to get proven, people are suffering. Hey, I'm Deborah from SurvivingMesothelioma.com. And for almost 20 years now, we have been helping mesothelioma patients with the latest mesothelioma information. And in today's video, we're gonna look at 4 different studies that show how vitamin A may be able to help mesothelioma patients. How much research is necessary before a vitamin or any natural approach is considered beneficial to managing mesothelioma or any other cancer for that matter? I mean, how much is enough? In this example, I report some of what science already knows about mesothelioma and vitamin A. This information is taken directly from the scientific medical literature, and the journals are written and read by doctors and medical experts. As you will see here today, there is already some scientific evidence that suggests that there are various forms of vitamin A that may be beneficial to mesothelioma patients or people who want to avoid getting the disease. Let's be clear. I am not suggesting that vitamin A is either a cure or prevention for mesothelioma. I am just relaying what some scientists have reported. Remember that the same caveat always applies. If you are interested in using these types of approaches, don't do it on your own. Work with an experienced and licensed professional clinician. Okay, vitamin A. In the wrong amounts, it can actually be dangerous. Let's just take a look at the studies on vitamin A and mesothelioma. Study number 1 shows that low levels of retinol or vitamin A have been associated with an increased risk of developing mesothelioma. Okay, in this study, Australian researchers looked at former workers and residents exposed to chrysotillite, blue asbestos, in Western Australia. Their findings suggested that people with chronically low plasma levels of retinol, and that is the fat-soluble animal form of vitamin A, have an increased risk of developing mesothelioma and lung cancer. This is a fascinating conclusion because it implies that a person's intake of retinol or perhaps other forms of vitamin A may affect their vulnerability to mesothelioma. All right, study number 2. This was on cruciferous vegetables and carotene and how it may make it less likely to get mesothelioma. So in 1988 in Louisiana, the National Cancer Institute did a study on the dietary patterns of mesothelioma patients. The diets of mesothelioma patients were compared to the diets of healthy individuals. Now, according to the article, mesothelioma patients ate less homegrown cruciferous vegetables and really all vegetables combined before they were diagnosed. And that was compared to healthy patients. Cruciferous vegetables, also known as brassica vegetables, and they include things like arugula, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, watercress, bok choy, turnip greens, kale, mustard greens. The researchers also pointed out that carotene intake was significantly lower for the mesothelioma patients. Okay, carotene is a precursor to vitamin A. So again, this suggests that once again, that diet and vitamin A in particular may affect the onset of mesothelioma. Okay, on with study number 3. Now, this one showed that vitamin A or beta-carotene may decrease the risk of mesothelioma. In this 1996 study from the American Health Foundation, the investigators examined the association between dietary intake and mesothelioma by studying 94 men and women with malignant mesothelioma and then 64 people without cancer. They concluded that their results provided, and quote, some justification for the hypotheses that provitamin A, a beta carotene, may decrease the risk of mesothelioma. Provitamin A is any of the carotenoids that are precursors of vitamin A, and they can be found in fish liver oils, egg yolk, milk products, green leaf or yellow vegetables, and then some fruits. And last but not least, okay, study number 4. Now this one showed that retinoic acid may make mesothelioma less likely to metastasize or spread. In a study from 2002, researchers looked at mesothelioma cells in vitro, in test tubes or petri dishes outside the body, and found that retinoic acid, the oxidized form of vitamin A, quote, may lead to a decrease of mesothelioma cell local invasion. They interpreted this to mean retinoic acid may modify how mesothelioma grows and spreads in the body. This suggests that vitamin A levels may actually affect the aggressiveness of mesothelioma once someone is diagnosed with the disease. How many mesothelioma patients or people exposed to asbestos are given this information by their doctors? None that I have spoken to. To be fair, this is very preliminary research, but these studies, however, suggest that vitamin A may be of benefit to people with mesothelioma or those who want to avoid getting the disease in the first place. In a disease like this, where treatment options are limited and people are searching for answers, this information, although preliminary, can be of value. I mean, will we ever know if mesothelioma patients should be routinely prescribed vitamin A and in what amounts? I mean, how much current research is being conducted into this question? Currently, there are no clinical trials or studies according to the National Cancer Institute. If you want to take vitamin A or form of vitamin A in one of various supplements, you should be under the care of a licensed clinician. Okay. I hope that was of help. And if it was, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone that you know that has mesothelioma. I will see you in the next one. And as always, wishing you the best of health.